Hello beautiful people, my name is Jane and welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'm sharing the reasons why a girl might ghost a guy. I like to call this dating scene today jungle. So if you're out here, you must have heard the term ghosting. Ghosting basically is when two people meet each other, they click, they connect, they're getting to know each other. They might even go on a few dates and all of a sudden one of them starts withdrawing from the other person or just disappears on them. You call, you text, they never reply your text, they never call you back, they never pick your calls. That's basically ghosting, when a love interest disappears on you. That's called ghosting. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing some of the reasons why a girl that you met, you guys are good. One day you're good and the next day she's nowhere to be found. And you're wondering, what was it that you did? What went wrong? And most times, most women are not very forthcoming with this information because you would want to know. There are so many reasons why a guy might want to know what it was that went wrong. And there are so many other reasons why a girl might not be very forthcoming with this information. She might not want to go into that conversation of telling you what it was exactly. So I'm going to be sharing some of the reasons why this might be. Before I get into it, I want to clarify first that ghosting is not often the fault, or let me not say the fault, but it's not often always about the person that got ghosted and ghosty. Because somebody ghosted on you does not mean that you're not worth it, or you're not enough, or you're not lovable, or any of those very serious things. No, most times people ghost people based on their own issues, their own reasons, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to have anything to do with you. So if somebody just ghosted on you and is making you feel a drop in your self-esteem, please don't feel that way, because most times people ghost people based on their own stuff. So the first most obvious reasons why people ghost people is because they don't want to go into the whole awkward conversation of telling you it's not going to work between you guys. That's the most obvious reasons. Like, they've seen you, maybe you guys have been talking over the phone and everything was great, but then they see you and something felt off, or for them it's not what they feel like this is not what they want. And instead of having the whole awkward conversation of it's not you, it's me, they feel it's safer to just disappear on you. It's a coward's way out, but everybody gotta do what they gotta do. But having said that, I also feel the need to say that most times women ghost men because they don't know how you're going to react when they tell you the truth, when they are upfront with you. When they tell you this is not going to work, or this is what it was, or this was what you did, they don't know how you're going to react. Most times, most men, you meet a guy, he's kind, he's okay, yeah, you guys vibe, you guys connect, but the minute you reject him, the minute you tell him that he's not going to get that which he came here for, he kind of changes into a whole new person. Like, most people are like that. They don't handle rejection well. It's not even about guys or girls. Most people just don't handle rejection well. So a lot of people, when they feel or when they see that they're not going to get what they came here for, that you're saying it's not going to work, they don't know how to handle that, and they might just pass out. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why women are not very forthcoming when it comes to telling a guy that when we were talking about the phone, you were way cooler, and then I saw you in real life and I felt like you were boring. A lot of people are not going to accept, and they're not going to welcome this observation. They're not going to, because a lot of people, when you hurt them, because rejection is basically you hurting them, you telling them it's not going to work, they feel like that's you hurting them. And for a lot of people, when you hurt them, they feel the need to hurt you back. So when you tell a person that this is what it was, or this is what it is, and this is what's not going to happen, they feel the need to also, say something rude or disrespectful, or even hurt you physically if they are that mad. So that's one of the reasons why women ghost men. The second or the third one is she didn't feel safe. You were creepy on your date. You made her feel unsafe. A lot of guys, most times, you feel like you need to take initiative. You need to be in charge of the situation. All these are good, but being in charge of the situation in a way that lets the other person know that they still have a say in this thing. What I'm trying to say is that you go, okay, let's say for instance, you go on a date with somebody, yeah? And they've not invited you to their house. And you're telling them you're going to their house after this date. Like, you guys are not that, even though you've been talking, she doesn't know you that well to bring you into her home. Now, a lot of people, this would make them feel unsafe. Or the first time that you guys are going to meet, you're inviting her to come over to your own house. She doesn't know you that well. So most times these things are, it's better to let her be the one that will tell you when it's time to take this thing to the next level. I'm not saying don't be proactive or all that, but baby steps, especially in the initial stage. Baby steps. Don't just overwhelm the person and make them feel unsafe or make them feel like you have ulterior motives, even if you don't. That's very, very important. And that's one of the most important reasons why women ghost men. Because if she feels like she's not safe with you, you have ulterior motives, you're planning something she does not know, she's not going to trust you. And if she doesn't trust you, she's not going to come close to you. So that's another very important thing to note. The next one is you were too much on the first date. You go on a date sometimes with a guy. Maybe you guys have been talking over the phone for a couple of days or weeks, and then you go on a first date and you're already asking them how many children they want to have. You're asking them very personal questions about life, about relationship, about you guys, like what they can take and what they cannot take, what you want out of a woman. All these things are safe conversations to have, right? But it depends on how you have these conversations. If you are on a date, on a first date, and you're already telling this person what you expect from them, you're dumping all this information on them, that, see, they are just some information that are not first date material. I don't care how you feel like you guys vibe or you feel like, and the worst are the ones that go on first date without an open mind. Like, you're going on a date, you already have this notion, or there's all this information about women. All women are the same. So when you're going there, you're meeting somebody for the first time, you're telling them what you expect from a woman, what is expected of her, what she would do. You're just dumping all this information on this person without even giving them the space to digest any of them. It's like, for you, this doesn't go, that doesn't go, the other one doesn't go, this is a no, that is a... when you're this too much, you tend to overwhelm a person. And for most people, they've listened to you. In their mind, they're like, this thing, they are just tired already. And the stuff has not even started, but the person is already tired. So that's one of the reasons why people ghost people. You might be saying, is it not better to be plain from the beginning, to tell the person the truth so they know whether it's something they can do or not? Valid. Very important. If you feel like you want to lay it all out in the open on the first day so they know what's up, that's fine if that's how you want to do it. But I'm just saying that if you overwhelm a person on the first date, there is likely not to be a second date. And this is something that you could have been able to achieve at the long run. But because you overwhelm this person from the very beginning, it doesn't give that avenue for this to happen. But if you feel like that's how you want to do it, it's fine. Another reason why you might get ghosted is because the person was in a relationship and they were basically just testing the waters. It's not the easiest thing to hear, or it's the truth. There are people that are in relationships, they're not looking for anything serious. They just want to see what's out there. They just want to test the waters, put themselves out there, see what's going on in the dating world. There are people that even do this for fun, basically just toying with other people's emotions, if that's how you want to put it. But sometimes that's another reason why a person might ghost you. Maybe things were not really very good in her relationship at the time. Maybe they were having issues or whatever, and she's like, you know what, I'm going to put myself out there. She puts herself out there and her net catches you. You were the fish that was caught. And when things improve back home, she's like, there's no way she can maintain the two of you now. So she chooses the person that she already has something with. So that's another reason why somebody might just disappear on you. The next one is, this one is like similar to the other one. Another reason why is, I don't know where I heard this, but these days, people keep what we call a dating roster. What that is basically is where they're seeing multiple people at the same time. This age of social media and online dating sites and all those things, people are getting crazier, or maybe not crazier. People feel like they have options, right? So a lot of people want to test out those options that they have. So they see multiple people at the same time. And at the end of the day, some people feel like this gives them the avenue to be able to have a variety of choices. And at the end of the day, they pick the one they feel like is most likely, or the one they feel like that's the one that they want. So you might just be one of many. And when she ends up going on a date with you, the other person, she chooses somebody and it's not you. And then she goes to you because she can't start telling you that, what happened was I was actually seeing multiple people and you just didn't end up being that guy for me. So it's just way easier for her to ghost you. So that's another reason. Another one is you were way too forward on the first date. People might have been talking. I don't know the kind of conversation you might have been having, but when you meet somebody for the first time, it's not always very ideal to get physical without them giving you consent to get physical with them. I know the whole romantic story, movies ending with you guys go on a date and then you kiss her goodnight and all those things. In real life, you need to let her be the one that initiates it. Basically gives you consent before you get physical. A lot of guys can be very forward where you're meeting somebody for the first time. You guys are on a first date, and before she can say Jack Robinson, you have your tongue down her throat. Like that's not cool. Like don't get physical if she doesn't give you the green light or the initiative or the invitation to get physical with her. Let things graduate, let things flow, let things get to that level before you will know when it gets to that level. Another very important one, this one you might not know. This one is not very obvious. A lot of people do not know this, but some girls are 007. What I mean is she went all detective on you after you guys met and she found dirt. She digged up dirt. A lot of girls, not a lot of girls, but some girls do this. Like they are professional stalkers. Like if there's anything out there, trust me, she's going to find it. If you have a girlfriend or you have other love interests or you have anything that would hinder her or that would stop her from dating you, if it's out there, she's going to find it. So some girls have this should I say ability or super, I don't know, but they can do it. Like you guys meet, you guys talk, and she goes home and she goes all detective on you and she digs up dirt. She found something that just doesn't align. And like I said earlier, some people, even when they're in relationships, feel the need to test the waters, right? So if you're somebody, you have a girlfriend, you have a wife, or you have somebody that you're talking to, other people that you're talking to, and there's evidence out there, and this person went on a date with you, things were going well, she's one of many, she goes home, she does her due diligence, and she finds out that there are so many other people, or that you are whatever, she might decide to just ghost you and not even give you that energy or tell you that this was what it was. Because I don't think telling somebody that you went all detective on them is very cute. So that's another reason why a person might ghost you. Another one is, this one is also very important to note, especially if you're a good guy, you have an open mind, you just want to learn, you want to know what it was that you did wrong, so that next time you can do better. There are people like that, but most of the reasons why, even when you tell this person, please tell me, you are approaching this situation with an open mind, you just want to know what it was so that you can do better. It's not even about it working with you and this person, but for some reason they are not forthcoming. They don't want to tell you what it was. Most times, it might be because the person does not have a valid reason. Yes, that's true. Some people don't have a valid reason, and they know within them that they don't, so they can't start telling you what they think. The next one might be because the last time that person was upfront with a person, maybe with a guy, telling the guy what it was and why this wouldn't happen, it didn't end well for them. So people have had very ugly experiences where they are trying to tell somebody that it was going well with, and then it stopped going well with, that it's not going to work, and it turned violent, or the person turned on them basically. So they've had that very bad experience, and they're like, instead of going through this, it's safer and better for them to just ghost you and not say anything and wait for you to figure it out yourself. So when this happens, you genuinely want to know, and the person is not telling you, don't take it to heart, don't feel bad or feel like it's you. Most times it's just because of the experiences they've had when they try to be that way, when they try to be open. That's why they feel like it's better to just ghost. The next one is, please, this one might sound petty or it might sound, I don't know, but I'm just going to say it. Before you take someone on a date, do your due diligence on where you're taking them on that date. Before you take somebody on a date, look at your account balance on your own. It has nothing to do with that person. If you cannot afford a place, if you cannot afford it, there is no point you pushing yourself to the limit or taking somebody to a place and embarrassing yourself. There is no point you doing that to yourself, causing yourself that kind of embarrassment, or you're on a date with somebody and you're changing that person's order. I know there is this thing you might want to impress to the extent that you want to take them to a place that they have never been before, or a place that is expensive or bubbly. But if you cannot afford it, if it's not within your budget, if it's not something you can do effortlessly, there's no point you going that extra mile. Do what you can, because it wouldn't make sense that you're on a date with somebody and you come off as a cheapskate, even though you're not. It's just because you went above your means. It will not be good that you're, because it's not everybody that will understand. Some people will say this is actually good, so you know who is after you for your money. It's not just about being after you for your money. You could have avoided that situation by taking the person to a place that you can easily afford. It's not left for you when you want to take them to a place you can afford and they don't want to follow you to that place. Then you know that this person is after money or this person is after whatever you might feel. But don't break bank or create an awkward situation trying to impress somebody that you could have done the same. You could have impressed them well within your limits. Okay, so it's very important. So you don't just, some people will still like understand, but it's very rare for people to understand. And to avoid that situation, just be within your means. A person that loves you, a person that likes you, that still wants to get to know you, will still be open to that. The next one is, you have poor communication skills. Like, there's nothing worse than going on a date with somebody and the person can't seem to shut up about themselves. They keep talking about themselves. Like, this is supposed to be an avenue for us to get to know each other. I'll get to know you, you get to know me. But when you make it about yourself, this can be bad. You talk for hours on end about yourself, without giving the other person the opportunity to also tell you some things about themselves. So if you have very poor communication skills, might be because you're nervous, might be because you're not comfortable, which is why it's always good when you're going on a first date. Keep it casual. Let it be a place where the both of you can just sit down, be comfortable, be yourselves, and let things flow. Don't try to overdo anything, especially on first dates. I know it's good to go over and beyond though, to make a good first impression and all that, true, but keep comfort at the back of your mind. Comfort will work in your favor on first dates. The last one is, you were not what she expected when she met you. Now, this might sound petty, but it's not petty. You know how when a girl wants to go on a first date, she's putting all this effort. She's trying to get her hair done, her nails done, she's trying to come correct, right? And you're going to be making a first impression on somebody and you're coming there with bushy hair. You're coming there without brushing your mouth. You just didn't put in effort, like no effort at all, to tell this person that they are important to you. Like, you come correct. I'm not saying go over and beyond. It's not even about looks. It's not even about you being a fine boy, a fine guy, or whatever. But hygiene, good hygiene goes a long way. She needs to be able to feel comfortable in your company. She needs to be able to want to lean closer, want to be close to you, basically. It's not even about first time. Like, that you're sure going to be meeting somebody. Try and put in some effort. Put some work into it. Shower. Take care of yourself. Come correct. All these things go a long way. It's not just about money where you take the person and all those things. Your hygiene also goes a long way. Even though I've said a lot of things in this video, I know I've not been able to say all the reasons why this might be, but these are the ones that I know personally, and I've also heard from people, and I've seen basically. So if you've ever experienced this and you're asking yourself, why could this be? Why me? No, no. Go through this video with an open mind. Be honest with yourself if you truly want to do better. And you might see a thing or two here that you need to work on, or you need to change, or you need to do better at. And it will go a long way in making you a better version of yourself. So thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you so much. And please check out some of my other videos. I have a couple of other videos on my channel that I feel like you guys might like. Feel free to share it. Share with other people you feel like they should see it. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.